Hello students, New English High School and Junior College, managed by our esteemed CEO, Mr. Prakash Gurnani Sir, and our Principal, Mrs. Jyoti Gurnani Madam, have taken this initiative of providing online lectures for all students of 12th Science, Arts and Commerce departments as we are all fighting with the ongoing pandemic. We hope all of you will be benefited by this. Myself, Mrs. Subarna Basu from Department of English. Today's lecture is Prose, Chapter 1.4 Big Data, Big Insights. Students, today our lesson is based on big data. Big data is the very in thing today. It basically describes the large volume of data that we get on computers nowadays, which is categorized in structured, semi-structured and unstructured forms, which are gathered from multiple sources. What are the structured data? Structured data are those which you find in rows and columns properly made. They are called structured data. They have a defined format. But semi-structured data is actually does not have a form of data and they do not conform to the formal structure of data. It is another type of data which is not basically formatted. Third is unstructured data. Now, what is unstructured data? This unstructured data is basically refers to unorganized data. It generally refers to those all the informations, sources, everything that we get on Google or something, which comes in various forms, big pictures, videos or informations, but they cannot be found in a proper row or columns. So that is why it is called unstructured data. It can come from various multiple sources. Big data might be in petabytes or exabytes of data consisting of billions to trillions of records of millions of people. As we all know nowadays, we in India and globally, millions and millions of people are using computer. We are feeding our computers with number of things, our photographs, the Google photos where everything is uploaded. So these are all records which comes into this number of bytes. Data earlier could only be collected from spreadsheets or databases. Today, data comes in an array of forms. Earlier, it was only databases from when data was collected, or like Excel sheet, that spreadsheet. But nowadays, you do emails, we send PDFs, we save photos, several videos, audios, number of things we post nowadays, and these all are actually data that are going saved. We are sending, but somewhere it is going saved, and this entire information that we are feeding in our computers is actually what big data is. So you know with this number of population all over the world, how much data, how much voluminous data is saved in daily life. Data sourced from where are data sourced? From web, web, www, that we say. From sales, customer sales services, from customer contact, social media and mobile data. Now social media, you all know, you use Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp. Whatever we send there, Google is all saving it all. And mobile data, whatever we save in our mobile, our pictures or whatever we save, these all data is actually not only ours, it is going somewhere saved in form of big data. The amount of data is not important. Yes, it's a voluminous one, but amount is not important. How effectively the data is used by several organizations is important. Suppose people are nowadays they do elections and all. During the elections also several people, these leaders and politicians, they travel from place to place and they take survey, they understand the public over there, and then they take survey and they save the informations, and through these informations they come to know the need of those places and all this after uh, studying all this data. So now we know how effectively is like different organizations, business organizations, schools, colleges, institutions are using several type of data is very important. Large data sets are analyzed computationally, means it is computed to reveal hidden patterns, trends and associations, especially relating to human behavior and interactions. Now this is a like you all have those social media things, that Twitter, on Twitter people we all tweet, normally big people, WhatsApp or Facebook, you give your status. With this there are people who are collecting all this information of yours, and they are studying the fact, the trends, that what type of post you are giving, and due and after studying all this human behavior and interactions, they make a certain set of data by analyzing it with computers. These analyzed big data give insights are ideas to make better decisions and strategic business moves. Business houses, those who are there online, they understand our trends. When we follow certain online patterns, that we like some pages of dresses or something, they understand what type of things we love, and they strategically they plan their business moves, they will show those type of things on our pages. Now in big data, five type V's are very important. They are volume, velocity, variety and veracity. These are the five keys which make big data successful. There are five V's which is very important in big data. The first V is volume. Volume, why? Because big data we get in huge amount, in huge volume from various sources. So they come in different sizes, sometimes videos, sometimes PDFs, sometimes pictures. These are all type of data, they come in different sizes, so volume is very important in big data. Next is velocity. Velocity is the time with which a data is generated. A computer requires certain time with which you put the data. It requires some time in processing the data, and then it is analyzed, it is followed, and then they give a format to it. So in memory they keep something after computing all this, and this takes a time and speed, that is called the velocity of the data generation. Third is variety. As we know, as we have talked in volume, that the data come in various forms, pictures, videos or PDFs in various forms, emails. So these all, as they come in volume, different volumes, they also come in variety of sizes, graphs, multimedia, IoT, sometimes documents. So you know that what are the various types of data type. They are called variety, various types. So what are the various types? Waves, graphs, multimedia, videos, IoT and all those things. Veracity. Veracity is the trustworthiness of the data collected. Now data comes from everywhere. As I told you, various pictures, nowadays memes are made and various things. But are all those data authentic? No, all are not authentic. We should not go on passing each and every information that we get. Many a times we get false forwards. They are also data, but they are false. So trustworthiness of the data is required to be known. Before forwarding anything, or I think you should know that where you are getting the data from, whether it is trustworthy source or not. Next is the value, which is the most important part of the big data. Why? After getting all this data, why is data ultimately collected? To use it further, to value it further. So value depends upon how the institutions or organizations use the data collected. So just having big data is of no use unless we can turn into some value, some decision analysis for taking any decisions. And so we have seen what is big data and how extensively it is used nowadays. Further, we will study the uses of big data in our daily life and various fields. Following are the areas where big data is used globally nowadays. These are the healthcare industry, the education industry, for understanding the weather phenomena, the entertainment and media, banking, finance and trading, location tracking by using GPS navigation and all, in the sports field and in advertising area. These all are the areas where big data is used extensively nowadays, where without big data we cannot think of measuring anything, of planning anything or making any implementations. Now in today's lecture we will deal with the healthcare industry, the education industry, understanding the weather phenomena, entertainment and media. These four areas of big data uses we will deal with in this lecture, and the other four we will deal with in the next lecture of this lesson. To understand big data more clearly and its uses in our daily life, first we will take up healthcare industry. Healthcare industry is a field where its using is growing day by day and by leaps and bounds. And healthcare industry is generating a huge amount of data by how people lives, their concerns, their consciousness regarding food. You have seen nowadays people are talking lot about immunity and lot of things. And daily if you open internet you will get lot of things regarding that. How it is coming? Because we all are day by day getting more conscious regarding it. Our own biomedical devices, that you all know about, smart watches, health apps, or research devices such as heart rate monitor, sleep pattern monitoring, records of exercises. You can see here people have record of exercise patterns, then how many set of exercises they are doing. There are ECG patterns where heartbeats are counted. A simple, nowadays you have those in mobile, you have an app and you take how many steps and it is monitored there, that you are, and it will take that today you have taken 5,000 step or 10,000 step and whatever. Next example is, or very bit in this scenario of COVID-19, the most successful use of healthcare industry in big data is Arogya Setu, if you have seen. They are collecting lots and lots of information there from every nook and corner. In your mobile you see, I put a dot, you install the app and you can see where, how much distance you have those patient, those type of patient. So now you know how minutely in detail this thing, this big data is working, how it is working, how in which corner the patient is there. It is collecting all the information on every nook and corner and giving you in your app. So now you know that how healthcare industry is day by day working. Then it is collecting information about people's consciousness, that how people are day by day getting out, they should walk, what food pattern they should follow, what yogas they will do, and whatever exercise. So this is how big data helps us. And for everything nowadays, as we say, google it and you'll get it. But where does it come from? Even google is just saving what we all are using and presenting us in a collected way of information. That's called big data. And now we will see how exactly healthcare industry helps us by collecting big data. It takes individual feedback, like I'm or you are or anybody is a patient. They study the whole patient pattern, the disease, the cure, the diagnosis of the patient, that how the problem was diagnosed, and gradually they come to a point that what should be administered, what should be given. In this process, what happens, we all become aware that how we have to be very careful in certain flu is coming, certain epidemic is coming, and how we have to be aware, because daily we are seeing more and more informations on internet. In this way, it reduces the cost of treatment. Unnecessary diagnosis not required, because now we know, daily all of you, if you are following daily pattern, especially this is in very useful in today's scenario when we are dealing with this pandemic. Then this is very important, because we all know now everybody is fighting with this. For fighting with this, earlier we were not knowing that we have to use mask, or we have to use filters, we have to take steam and all. But how do we get daily to daily, we are getting informations from somewhere, or somewhere we are getting daily informations, and daily we are getting updates, and now we know how we have to keep ourselves safe. So in this way, unnecessary diagnosis is not required. We know the process, and when it is required, when we feel that yes, now the diagnosis is required, then only go. So there is no unnecessary cost of treatment. If there is an outbreak of epidemic somewhere, we come to know, and we are dealing with it. So in this, we know it very well. Besides preventive measures, as I said, preventive measures, we all know that how prevention is better than cure, how we have to prevent ourselves, all the preventive measures we know now. We have to just follow it. You will better understand it, because we are all going through it now. And this minimizes the effects. Earlier it might be huge an effect the epidemic will have, and gradually when people are using sanitizers, people are using masks, or people are getting more and more careful that how to stay, maintain social distancing. So what, how does it help? It minimizes the effect of the disease, and helps avoid preventable disease by detecting them early. And if also somebody is diagnosed with the problem, then because we all know the pattern, that how it follows, day 1, day 2, day 3, so it is detected very early, even every person knows, so it is detected very early. And so everything, anything that is detected early is easy to cure. Prevents diseases from worsening and making treatment effective. So because we all know that how we have to keep ourselves safe, how we have to keep ourselves careful, and how we should not be careless, that makes out whatever treatment is given becomes more effective for us. It also maintains the past record of the patients. A patients, when it gets treated, what big data does is that it saves the patient's history, which helps the doctors to study when similar patients they have more and more, they study the past patients cases. Patients can be provided with evidence based medicine. Such medicines will be provided, which they will see that in the history of earlier patient it has worked, so it might work here also. They take this information, they take it in their use, and this is how big data is helping a big way in the healthcare industry. So next on our list is education industry. Enormous use of big data in education industry. Now you all are in 12th standard, and next you will be stepping out to college, where you all will be confused. This subject, that subject, you will be having lots and lots of informations. How you will get all these informations? Because you will hunt in the computer. I want this subject, I want you. Somebody wants journalism, somebody wants mass media, somebody wants commerce, somebody wants finance, to do something in finance. Different subjects your choices are. But where to get the best of information, you will then depend on Google. You will depend on the you will search the subjects there. And where does you get all this information from? Because the computer, the internet is having enormous data on these subjects. Education industry generate a huge amount of data related to students, the faculties you want to choose, the courses, the results of the courses, the career guidances regarding if you take this course, what career you will get. So data analysis provides us much ideas or insights to improve working of educational institutes. It helps us to choose our subjects, to choose our streams. We now understand what way to go. Now, what are the various changes that has been done over the years? Customized and dynamic learning process. Learning programs are done. Customized programs can be created using data from students' learning history. How? What you are learning and what is your interest. Learning that you a program can be customized for you. This improves the overall students' results. Reframing course material over now this every year you have seen, this year also you have seen that your course is changed, your book is changed. You know you are dealing with a new textbook. Last year the textbook at 12th was old one. So this is called referring new course material. And why it is done? Because when it is seen that your course material requires new updates, because times are changing, you need to know new things. There are several subject experts, those who sit together and decide. They come from different corners, they decide and they make a new course. These all data are collected on the basis of what a student learned from different boards. They study all the boards, CBSE, ICSE, all the regional boards, and then they come to a common pattern that which subject matter in which board is more effective for you, which type of studies, and then they frame a new course for you. Mostly after every 8-10 years, the course is reframed. Of course, because after every 8-10 years, times are changing and course beneficial to students are again reframed according to their needs. Next, what changes they have brought is, earlier it was percentage and marks, and now in many boards the percentage are converted to grades, because the percentage would bring the children's moral down, but the grading system had helped children's moral push up. So this is one big change they have done. Most of the big institutions have gone from percentage to grading patterns. Next use is career prediction. By studying your progress, your strengths, your weaknesses, your interest, there is a pattern study called IQ study, intelligent quotient study. They do that if you want, and they can predict a career for the student. Which career will be suitable for the student will be given to the student. They also contribute in e-learning solutions. By providing different courses for different choices of students, big data has brought a huge change and helped students in their progress, because we know everybody's choice cannot be same. So earlier they are stuck to one place what to do, either medical or engineering. But now the children have huge choice of pattern. They can choose from an array of subjects to choose from. Our next study that the big data does is understanding the weather phenomena. Now you have everybody, if you open your mobile, And if you want to know the temperature today at your place, the sunrise, the sunset, and several times it is predicted there will be rainfall, there will be huge rainfall, or alert for an tsunami or cyclone. Meteorological department give us all this. But actually, where all this come from? Where are we getting these informations? There are weather sensors and satellites deployed all around the globe. It is deployed, it is set up all around the globe. Satellites are set up. And from there, the satellites give us information about the weathers. And this information come in form of a huge amount of data again. This data is used to understand and monitor the weather, and then the forecasting of the environmental conditions, like what will be the temperature tomorrow, or tomorrow will be rainfall or not. We know we all are getting the updates regularly. In weather forecasting, to study the global warming, in understanding the patterns of natural disasters, floods, earthquakes, tsunami, we get, because we get the alerts. Few days back there was a tsunami somewhere or earthquake somewhere. This cyclone that came, we, because of the alerts, what we can do, we can be very alert ourselves. The coastal areas are evacuated, people are shifted somewhere. So it helps us this way. It collects the information from all over the world by the satellites, and these are sent to the weather department, the meteorological department, who in turn gives us the information in internet, that tomorrow or day after tomorrow the weather, so the cyclone, the tsunami, the earthquake, whatever it is predicted, and we all get the information. Even it also predicts the availability of usable water around the world, wherever we are using water, which water is in usable condition, drinkable condition. Every minute details the weather, after studying the weather, the big data provides. As we have seen in the several other fields, as healthcare, as in healthcare industry, as in education industry, one of our biggest platform today is entertainment and media. We know we cannot stay without this entertainment and media. After going through 3 months of lockdown, especially, we know that entertainment and media plays a big role in our life, without which we might not have survived this in-house jailing, you might call this lockdown. We stayed inside because we had our internet with us, we had our entertainment channels with us. So how does they work? They work upon our choice. A huge amount of data is generated when we see certain channels. A huge amount of data they collect. They collect the information, which area is watching what type of programs, in what hours, like ladies are watching their programs in afternoon, or children are watching their program in which hours, and what type of, like with Netflix, Amazon, what type of movies are in demand. Biopics are in demand, so they are making biopics. So these are the informations they are collecting, and this is how in entertainment and media it is working. With access to various digital gadgets, and how digital gadgets in our hand, we have our iPads, we have our mobiles, where we are surfing, we are seeing the our friends are suggesting us watch this movie, we are going to internet, and we are reading the reviews of the movies. When we are reading the reviews, they are collecting the data that this movie is getting more and more reviews. So this is how another data is generated. Social media platforms also generated huge amount of data. Many of us update on social media that they have watched this movie or certain thing and they have loved it. They write about some actors or actresses or programs they love. This again cause a big data in entertainment and media. Media uses in form of breaking news. You can see whole day from nooks and corners, every corner news is coming globally, and this is how they work all through the year. Entertainment and media industry realized the importance of these data, and you know now, after understanding big data, that without the help of this, entertainment or media industry cannot work. because they have to collect information from all over, and they have been able to benefit from it, and they are growing with leaps and bounds. You see, they know our choices with our they for example, whichever app you are downloading for listening to any song, whichever app, there was Ghana.com, there is Spotify, whatever, and you know these are being given in your, and they study that this is the app which is maximum going on now. They know because in an area they study that 100 mobiles, 200 mobiles, 300 mobiles people are using this app, that means this app is in demand. So then they will show you the advertisement of that app again and again. They know with the flow of time, with how we watch TV, they know that the rise of type of movies have grown up in Amazon or Netflix or whatever, and they will show you those type of movies. Benefits extracted from big data in the entertainment are predicting the interest of audience. They predict us, that because after watching our interest for several months and days, they are collecting our data from our sources, and then they will predict that you are interested in this, they will, and how they will show in front of your TV screen that this is your interest. On demand scheduling of media streams. Now, as I saw, on demand means we sit, we watch TV programs. Many of, in your home you are having family members who have different choices. A small child will see the cartoons, the aged one will see with different time, the mothers will see on different time, and they know this. They have studied the pattern. They study a certain area, they study this pattern, and after studying this pattern, they fix the slot of the program, that in this area this program is on demand in this hour. So they schedule their program in according to that. They use customer reviews, because in mobile, in internet, we have those reviews things, we give stars. They use those reviews to rate the programs. According to ratings, the programs, they get the primary slot time in TV, like evening 6 to 9 is the primary slot. Late night programs are not the primary slot. That programs which get little less reviews will come on late slot. And they target us through advertisement. They also know which advertisement attract us the most, and they will show more and more advertisement of that kind. That is how advertisement also get sponsorship. This slide I have already told you regarding Spotify. This is just the example that how the big data analytics are the people who analyzes your, you can say your brain is being analyzed, what type of songs you are listening, and they show you that Spotify, they will show you choice on top. Always, if you Google certain on YouTube also, if you see certain programs again and again, if you next time open it, you will see those your choice of songs on the top, because you have seen it again and again, and they have studied your behavior pattern, so they will keep it on the up. In the same way, Amazon Prime or Netflix or videos, musics, and some kind of net books, e-books called Kindle books, they also use big data to understand what kind of movies are going on. And then you will see nowadays on Amazon Prime and Netflix, they will show such movies only which people are liking. So TV broadcasters, they use all this kind of database to channelize their program according to the audience choice, and with this they get more of revenue. So what can we conclude today? The age of big data is here, and these are truly revolutionary times. Times are changing. If both business and technology professionals continue to work together and deliver on the promise. Currently, a lot of research is again going on this field, as data is increasing at a faster rate. Thus, there is a huge need of such tools and technologies. More and more tools are required. Big firms like Facebook, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, Yahoo are using this framework. Now, big data has become like a genie in our hands. We want this, and we get the data in form of Google. As we say, Google hai na, we say all the time, isn't it? What to do, where to go? Going nowhere. You want any information and you Google it. So where does Google it from? It gets from big data. So now we know the secret behind Google. It is the big data. It is like a genie. It lies in our hand now to make its optimum use, the best use for the benefit of mankind.
So children, this is our end of lecture of part 1, big data, and we will continue with the rest of the part in the next lecture of the same lesson. Thank you.